Hello everybody and welcome to my toy review slash design kind of discussion. So basically what I want to do today is kind of get behind why Mattel does certain things and kind of discuss this figure itself, the Majungasaurus. And I know there's a ton of reviewers out there that are a lot better than I am. They review toys really great, but instead of showing you kind of like going through the packaging and just going after close-ups and talking about the left and the right side, you know how they do, I'm going to be more talking about the design aspects and how I liked if they added certain things, if they're truthful to the original kind of fossils, stuff like that. And basically give you a better kind of overall picture of how I like the figure and the design aspects if they make or break a figure. So right now I have the Majungasaurus here, really great figure, and I kind of wanted to just give you my thoughts about it. Here we go. Alright, so right off the bat what I wanted to do is kind of give my first thoughts about the figure as I unbox it here. And overall just really does scream Majungasaurus for me. Going kind of looking at certain fossils, you can see the tiny arms, very accurate, even a little bit more accurate than the Jurassic World Evolution game here, which kind of has that bent arm, but on the Mattel figure it's just perfectly straight and small and kind of very immobile, as they should be. And also the kind of the bumps of like all across the body, also very Majungasaurus like. It's been seen on other reconstructions. That long neck and stocky build as well really just kind of perfectly captures what Majungasaurus is all about. So overall first impressions really great, and even the head sculpt is quite similar to the fossil counterpart. So the first thing that I noticed that was different though are those bottom kind of spikes. With other kind of Mattel designs that aren't from the movies, they have a lot of liberty, and it's sometimes a hit, sometimes a miss, but for this one, I really do like it. Something that comes to mind is the Cryolophosaurus, those fins in the back. A little bit strange for me, but that's something that I kind of question. But the bottom spikes really do tie in this figure perfectly. I really do think that just like with the bumpy kind of already design of Majungasaurus, this kind of bottom protruding spikes kind of helps tie in the whole figure and almost helps differentiate it from like other figures that, or other kind of like designs of Majungasaurus that we know, even with the game here. Just an overall kind of great figure that really does tie in and make it kind of unique. Now looking at these kind of more close-up shots, you can see a ton of detail. I noticed that with a few figures back then, Mattel kind of had more of a smooth type of design to their figures, not really packing in that really fine detail. But I think a few people already have mentioned it, that all the newer figures, starting off with like that new T-Rex and all the other designs that aren't even from the movies, very faithful and very detailed actually. You'll notice just kind of fine, minute kind of sculpting details, especially within the face, and they run toward out the back, kind of giving you kind of like a 360 of the Majungasaurus, as the one in Jurassic World Evolution kind of plays in the background as well. So again, kind of going on to my next point here, we're going to be the just overall kind of color design of the figure. And my camera actually doesn't really do too well at kind of showing you the natural kind of regular color. I have a ton of lights in the back and they kind of elevate the color levels. But if you actually have it in person, and what actually made me want the figure was when you see it in person, it's a lot more muted and the colors are a lot more natural. When I was looking at promotional images, it was screaming like bright yellow, bright green, and I was like, whoa, it's a little bit too much for me, especially with like the purples. But when you get it in person and you don't have it in very bright light, here you can kind of see I dimmed the lights a little bit, it's a lot more natural kind of design, and I was really appreciative of that. It's always weird when Mattel kind of goes a little bit color crazy, and which they actually don't do too often, but I remember like the Dilophosaurus that everybody was wanting, the purple one, was just a little bit too crazy, but I got it anyways because of that kind of the squirting feature, which was really cool. I love how you can actually fill it up with water, it's great. But kind of looking over to actually my, just looking to my other Jurassic World dinosaurs, a lot of the Mattel designs are pretty spot on with just like kind of balancing certain colors. Things that I really appreciate are just like having a kind of a very nice and smooth color palette, no clashing colors, and Mattel was really good about that. With this Majungasaurus though, I was very worried, especially with those promotional images like I said, but as soon as you get it in hand, it's great, it's super good. And finally, my last kind of discussion topic is just kind of the action feature. And it's actually really good. A lot of people were wanting kind of a posable jaw, even with the sound figures, or the ones with batteries with them, because a lot of times it's either open or closed and you have to hold down a button to kind of keep it open or closed. And so perfect kind of design where you can just leave it open and you can kind of thrash it around and then it can roar. Perfect. Really enjoyed that. So overall, it's a super good figure at a really good price. The one thing that I was actually surprised about myself, other than the colors, where it's a little bit smaller than I actually thought. When I was looking at other kind of reviewers review it, it looked a little bit bigger, but again, it is on that smaller side. It's not one of the massive biters, and it's pretty on scale with the people as well, with the human figures. So I think it works really great, and it's a great build. Finally though, if you do have if you do want to purchase this figure, it's a little bit hard to get right now. Just so many people are trying to get it. I've been trying to get it for a long time, and I noticed a lot of people just kind of scalp the whole thing. So what I saw, just like a lot of people just like on Etsy, not Etsy, but on eBay especially, or just kind of like even saw a few on OfferUp, just gone, and when they do ship it to Walmart, they only have one per pack, so kind of be aware of that. I assume over time it's going to be a lot easier to find, much like the other figures. So you can also check Amazon as well. A perfect place to actually look for all this is Collect Jurassic. Love his page, love everything about it, love his YouTube. And on one of his articles are actually just all the links for all the dinosaurs. You probably already know this, but that's how I was kind of just like hunting for all these figures, and really great to just click to see if it's there. If it's not, check another day. But yeah, check out Collect Jurassic if you need any of these toys. But overall, really like the Majungasaurus. The design aspects of it are actually pretty cool. Really helps separate it from the other figures, and sometimes it's a hit or sometimes it's a miss, but for this one I really liked it. So if you guys have any comments, or if you have any other toys that you want me to review in the future, please leave them in the comments below. And yeah, thanks guys.